Hello, good morning. I'm Dr. Sonali here. We are here on Education on Cloud. For class 10 science, we have quick revision we are doing with the chapter named Heredity and Evolution. Okay. So when the word heredity comes, that time immediately we have the similarities between parent and their offspring are accounted as heredity. You would have heard this term when people normally talk also about this. This particular thing was there in the parent and now it is there in the child. So that things are coming via heredity. Okay. Then and the dissimilarities also come. Sometimes the parents are having many different things which are not there in the child, so that is our offspring, we can say. So that is called variation. Okay. So variation can be by different means, either environmental variation or the surroundings variation. There are many means are there. Okay. Or the sequence in on DNA also changes, that time also variation happens. Okay. So let us see now what is heredity and variation. Both heredity and variation are accounted for when we study genetics. So genetics is the branch you will study in higher classes. Genetics has a separate branch. In the 10th standard level you are not studying that, you are studying only as a topic or one chapter. But as you go to higher classes and if you want to pursue your career in this research in science, then the genetics is the separate branch, separate subject, and there is huge studies are required for that. Okay. So under this genetics you are studying heredity and variation. Now let us see, asexual reproduction tends to produce clones. Okay. And clones means the identical one. Okay. Like organism which are genetically identical, they are called clones. So clones can be produced by asexual reproduction, but when there is chances of variation will happen when there is a sexual reproduction. When sexual reproduction happens, that time the variation only occurs. Okay. Now inheritance from the previous generation provides a common basic body design, okay, like as well as subtle changes in it for the next generation. Common basic body design means like a style of walking or a posture or a height or hair or eyes or the shape of a face. Many things are responsible in that. Okay. So next we are saying, depending on the nature of variation, different individuals would have different kind of advantages. Okay. Like bacteria that can withstand heat will survive better in a heat wave. Okay. Then the rules of heredity determines the process by which traits and characteristics are reliably inherited. Now the difference or dissimilarities between parents and children, okay, as individual of a species are only called variation. So from parent to offspring, when there is small differences which are coming, they are only called variations. Okay. And what are the causes also we will see now. So first variation can be heredity variation. What is heredity variation? Okay, refers to the difference which are inherited by the progeny from their parents, or we can say degree of difference between parents and progeny. Okay. Like throughout the life, virtually in every cell of the body, like this the changes might happen. So that is called heredity variation. Okay. Next type we are seeing here, that is the inheritance of such heritable variation can be determined by genetic constitution of individual. Okay. So genetic constitution, because of that only. Now there are variations are like inheritable variations are blood type, skin color, hair, okay, height, all this also comes under inheritable variations. Now there are second type of variations, that is environmental variation. Now environmental variation means it is caused due to difference in environmental conditions like light, water, soil, nutrients and the factor of environments. Okay. Like result of difference in surroundings like hair length and scars on the face, muscle strength, all this comes under, like see, when where parents has brought up and where the offspring is bringing up, accordingly also the environmental variation be affected. Okay. So there are few factors in the environment that is climate, diet, cultural effects, all this comes under environmental variation. They are responsible for different kind of variations from parent to offspring. Now causes of variation, there are different causes also, like reshuffling of genes during meiosis and errors in DNA copying. Sometimes DNA copying errors happens. Then environmental condition, I have told you just now what are the conditions, like climate is one of the condition, okay, and second condition is diet, what kind of diet mother is taking, who is giving birth to a child, and then there are many other cultural effects are also there. So all these are the responsible factors, okay. Then Gregor Johann Mendel is considered as father of genetics, okay. Mendel attributed contrasting factors coming from the parent and their random combination as the cause of their variation, okay. Now Mendel factors are termed as genes by the Johansson, okay. Then what was that? It was observed that the paired condition of the factors is present in diploid state. Diploid state means two set of chromosomes is called diploid. There are two terms you will be studying here. One is diploid and one is haploid. Diploid is two set of chromosome. Haploid is used for single set of chromosome. Okay, but when haploid gametes are formed, the factors segregate, and since chromosomes are paired in its diploid state but separate during gametic meiosis. What is that gametic meiosis which occurs in animals? Okay, it is far enough to judge that the factors are placed on the chromosomes. Now today it is known that genes are part of chromosome molecules, okay. So are you understanding what we have studied here? Here observe that paired condition of the factors present in diploid state when the two set of chromosomes are there, but when they undergo a haploid gamete are formed, the factors segregate. The factors are segregating. Because of that, what happens? Since chromosomes are paired in its diploid state but separate during gamete meiosis, what will happen? It is not necessarily all the factors are transferred on the chromosomes. Then what will happen? Chromosomes are made up of DNA. Okay, so you should understand this, and DNA molecule consists of two polynucleotide strands forming a double helix. Okay, so DNA is the genetic material throughout the living world except in a few viruses where RNA serves as a genetic material. So what is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid. RNA is ribonucleic acid, and DNA is double helical structure which is responsible for carrying genetic material. RNA is single helical structure which is responsible for protein synthesis in the body. Okay, so like genetic material, like HIV also one of the example we have studied. Now chromosomes in each of the 22 pairs are similar in size and shape in both women and women. The chromosomes of 23rd pair, okay, 22 pairs are common. 23rd pair in men are different from 23rd pair in women. That is only segregating them. Then these are the sex chromosome. The larger chromosomes are called X chromosomes. Okay, the smaller chromosomes are called Y chromosome. You understand? So these are the differences in the 23rd pair we are talking. Okay, then let us see here. Mendel represent the inheritance characters as follows. So there is one small picture with table. Now suppose parent, one tall, one short. The F1 offspring you are seeing here, the all F1 offsprings are tall here. So the F1 offspring of tall and short parents are all tall. Okay, but F1 parent, one tall and another tall, like both are tall, then F2 offspring, F1 parent produce a mixture of tall and short F2 offspring. That is also possible. So there are three offsprings are tall and one offspring is short. That is also possible by mixture of F1 and F2 offsprings. Then Mendel dihybrid cross, here we are seeing here RRY, Y is crossing with RRYY. So here round and yellow is crossing with wrinkled and green. Okay, F1 generation, if we are talking, this side it is gametes, that is RY, 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 RY. Okay, capital and small letters are only differentiating. Now we can see here also, when this and this you will get this, this and this you will get this, like this. So this is the table, this is for F2 generation. So phenotypic ratio will come in this 9 1:3:3:1. Okay, so in this ratio, when Mendel selected varieties that different with respect to 7 traits with easily distinguishable contrasting forms, he selected 14 varieties, which is shown in the table ahead. So what are the 14 varieties? Let us see here. These are the characters: stem height, flower color, seed shape, pod color, pod shape, and flower position. So alternate forms, one will be dominant form, one will be recessive form. Okay, so dominant form will be stem height, dominant form is tall, recessive is dwarf. Then flower color purple or white, seed color yellow or green, seed shape round or wrinkled, pod color green or yellow, pod shape inflated or constricted, and flower position axillary or terminal. Okay, so this kind of characters will be dominating. Now eukaryotic chromosomes, what is eukaryotic chromosomes? Okay, have basic protein mixed with DNA and are usually more complex in structure than prokaryotic chromosomes. Okay, so you should understand the difference here. A gene is the functional unit of DNA that serves as a heredity unit. Just now we said genetic material is on DNA, RNA responsible for protein synthesis. Then each human nucleus has 23 pair of chromosomes, okay, out of which 22 are same in male and female and are known as autosomes. Okay, the 23rd pair is different in male and female and they are only known as sex chromosomes. Okay, the females have XX sex chromosomes and males will have XY sex chromosomes. Okay, that is only responsible for their particular kind of characteristics. Now evolution is a set of change brought about by the forces of nature, selection on the variation within a population, that resultant organisms are better adapted to the surroundings. Okay, now evidence of evolution can be summarized. One we can say here paleontological or fossil evidence, like fossils are remains or impression of organism of the past. Archaeopteryx, okay, is a fossil that had both reptilians and avian features, proving that birds have evolved from the reptiles. Okay, like that. So from the fossil studies, fossils are the structures which is obtained many years ago, which is under the earth crust, which is get buried, and by digging after many years, when it comes out, they are trying to study what kind of animals. Like you would have heard about dinosaurs also. One movie also has come, you would have watched that movie also. In that, dinosaurs doesn't exist, but how the dinosaurs would have been, what kind of idea you can get, what will be their structure, size, shape, muscles, and walking style, everything. So all these ideas you get from fossil. So here what are this type of fossil evidence will only tell, like for example we have seen here, which has this particular Archaeopteryx is a fossil that has both reptilian and like avian features, like bird features. So what we can prove with this, bird has evolved from reptilians, like that. Okay. Then morphological and anatomical evidences are also there. Like first is homologous organs which are similar in structure and origin but different in function and appearance are called homologous organs. Okay, so what kind of organs? Which are similar in structure but different in function, like forearm of man, then wing of bat, flipper of a seal, all this. Okay, then analogy organ. Analogous organs are what? Organ which are similar in appearance and function but different in structure and origin. Okay, so they are known as analogous, like wings of a bird and the wings of a butterfly. So there is a difference, correct? Similarly, then the most accepted theory of evolution comes from Charles Darwin, whose theory is known as origin of species by natural selection. Its tenets are as follows, like organisms have a far higher capacity to reproduce that can be sustained by nature, thereby creating competition or struggle for existence is also there. Then offerings vary from one another from the parents. Okay, then we have here those with favorable variations are fit to the struggle for existence, and the favorable variations are accumulated over a long time period, creating a new species. Then the weak point of Darwinism is that it could not explain how variation arises. Okay, so you would have heard about survival of fittest. Survival of fittest is this kind of theories only. So which can survive, like there will be, you would have seen like a fish is also laying an egg, so there will be thousands of eggs, but every egg will not produce a baby, and that baby will not survive also like that. So why? Because survival of the fittest will be there. Who can survive from the extreme conditions, they will survive, others will get just killed. Okay. Then the latest theory of evolution is synthetic theory of evolution, which is a mixture of genetic variation and natural selection. So certain fossil shows features which are intermediate between two groups, like fossil from connecting links and clearly demonstrate stages during the evolutionary process. Like we have seen just now one example which was showing the link between reptilians and avian species. Okay. Then a very well known example of an extinct animal is dinosaur that existed long ago in large numbers. Okay. Thank you.